Hi Crypto Peeps, hope you're doing well. Today's date is 10th of August 2022 and it's an interesting week. I got some great news to share with you today. Let me have a look today. The Bitcoin price on my Steam Stream Deck here is at 23,000 in change. So still holding in there, not doing too bad, especially in reference to the world's economic problems. Take a look at China if you haven't looked at what's happening there. Wow, things are happening fast. Okay, so let's move on to the news I've collected this week, the crypto news bites. What I'll do, as always, I only read little snippets of the news. All the links to the full news sources are down below, so have a look at those if these interest you. Today we're starting off here with the Bitcoinist, why developing countries are looking to adopt crypto as their legal tender. According to the World Bank, the number of people living in extreme poverty on less than $1.90 per person per day has been increasing in the past 3 years following the effects of COVID-19, rising global conflicts, climate change, and unchecked inflation. For almost 25 years, extreme poverty levels were steadily declining before the disruption caused by the global pandemic. And furthermore, between 75 million and 95 million additional people could be living in extreme poverty in 2022 compared to pre-COVID-19 projections in majorly developing countries. The post-COVID period has seen developing countries face more challenges such as high crime rates, rising unemployment, political instability, and corruption, which translates to rising poverty levels. To this end, several countries are looking for solutions to the rising poverty, with crypto assets becoming increasingly popular across the globe. According to a seasoned Bitcoiner and co-founder of Philcoin, crypto can provide not only just a new stream of individual income, but also a new economy for governments to tap into and to help rebuild their financial sovereignty. Goes on to say here, in 2021, the world stood shocked when El Salvador became the first country to accept Bitcoin as legal tender, and to hold Bitcoin as a reserve on the country's balance sheet. The move opened up the global governments to start considering crypto as a legal tender, with the Central African Republic CAR joining the band, making Bitcoin a legal tender earlier this year. Shortly after, El Salvador's president invited monetary authorities and central banks from 44 countries to the country's Bitcoin conference. The conference was largely dominated by representatives from African countries and other developing nations, with the meeting discussing financial inclusion, digital economy, banking the unbanked, Bitcoin rollout, and its benefits to El Salvador. Nonetheless, there is little indication of these developing nations adopting crypto, with the infrastructure deficit, distrust, corruption, etc., hindering rapid adoption of crypto as a legal tender. In fact, the Africa Blockchain Report of 2021 by Swiss-based Crypto Valley Venture Capital shows that 27 countries out of the 54 countries in the continent have an implicit ban on crypto, 4 with absolute bans and 17 with uncertain regulation, and only 6 have legal sanctions for cryptocurrencies. Goes on to say here, the process of converting whole nations to accept Bitcoin and crypto as legal tender will be a hard one. But with 2 countries already undertaking such a bold step, the future looks bright. Developing countries have the most to gain from the crypto ecosystem, which gives them a number of benefits that could help fight poverty and increase the overall GDP of these nations. First, crypto was created to serve the unbanked and underbanked. Developing countries remain the most affected by nations whereby over 50% of the population have little to no access to solid banking infrastructure or basic financial services. Right, 50%, that's an amazing figure. You know, living in these first world countries like we do, we just don't realise how bad it is out there. Notwithstanding, the creation of the decentralised finance or DeFi ecosystem allows the unbanked to access additional financial instruments such as loans, saving accounts and staking to make a passive income or get quick access to a line of credit. There's a lot more detail there if that one interests you, but that's an interesting piece of news there. Interesting story, and it just goes to show, you know, the poverty that's taking over the world right now and the turmoil, the financial turmoil the world's in. It's a shocking state of affairs we're in at the moment, as it said there. 75 and 95 additional million people living in extreme poverty in 2022 before as it was before COVID. Shocking figures, absolutely. Moving on here to the Bitcoinist. Crypto markets have hit the floor, JP Morgan says, as Bitcoin nears 24k. The expectation of the merge, a long-awaited improvement to the Ethereum network, is the primary factor for the recent rebound in cryptocurrencies, according to JP Morgan, which thinks the market has found its bottom despite low trading volumes. Bitcoin and Ether have increased by 35% and 101% respectively since their mid-June lows, and the overall market value of cryptocurrency has regained $1 trillion. In a Monday note to clients, JP Morgan primarily ascribed the shifting economics of the cryptocurrency market to the planned Ethereum merge that will switch the blockchain from proof of work to proof of stake. They went on to say, what has helped, we believe, has been the more limited new contagion from the implosion of Terra and Luna. Nevertheless, JP Morgan analyst believes the real impetus has been the Ethereum integration and favourable statistics following the unveiling of the Sepolia and rope-stained fastnet testnets in early July and June, indicating that the merge is feasible in 2022. There's a lot more detail on that one if that one interests you. I don't know. Interesting news from JP Morgan there. I'm hoping we are at the bottom, but there again, at the same time, the lower it gets, the cheaper it is to buy some of these things like Bitcoin. So let's move on here. This is man of many here. This is an interesting story. The crypto collapse is flooding the market with Rolex and Patek Philippe watches. As the world grapples with interest rate hikes and inflation, the cryptocurrency market has quietly slipped into relative destitution. Housing affordability and the cost of living concerns have rightly taken precedence in the public eye. However, it must be said the collapse of cryptocurrency has been nothing short of spectacular. Goes on to say, according to a report, the recent uncertainty surrounding cryptocurrency has seen more owners unload their high-end timepieces, with supplies for the Rolex Daytona and Patek Philippe Nautilus now much larger. And in a statement provided to publication, online watch trading platform Chrono24 revealed that dwindling crypto values have directly impacted pricing of luxury watches from brands like Rolex and Patek Philippe. Goes on to say, the Kurlesh-based business is one of the largest dedicated second-hand watch retailers and marketplaces in the world, currently holding more than 500,000 timepieces on its website. Over the past few years, Chrono24 has reaped the benefits of the surging interest in luxury watch market, capitalizing on the new wave of buyers. As Bloomberg points out, the rapid rise in valuations for cryptocurrencies opened up a new category of consumer, driving the prices of particular models and brands such as Rolex, Audemars Piguet and Patek Philippe sky high. According to the Federation of the Swiss watch industry, the market has more than doubled in size in the last 2 decades. From 10.297 billion in 2000 to a staggering 22.32 billion in 2021. While there are increases across the board, the growth is largely due to the emerging patronage from China, which grew its imports of Swiss watches from 45 million in 2000 to 2.96 billion in 2021. It all goes on to say here, it seems the penny may have finally dropped, but not for the reason avid watch fans were expecting. The Bloomberg report suggests that the continued hammering of certain cryptocurrencies has forced its once investment-friendly buyers into reverse, selling off their assets at an alarming rate. Chrono24 CEO Time Strack told the publication that the recent global impacts have seen prices for the most sought-after timepieces fall loser in line with similar watches. At the same time, the watch retailer revealed that trading volumes on the platform have jumped more than 50% in the first half of 2022. Interesting news there. People are offloading their assets. It just goes to show what's happening in the world at large. So take that in mind and look around and see what's happening out there. This is just a small piece of news. Came in this morning. Someone just sent 1,831 Bitcoin onto Coinbase. An anonymous cryptocurrency wallet holding $43 million worth of Bitcoin just transferred their funds onto Coinbase. The Bitcoin wallet address tied to the transfer has been identified below, and it's this one here. And you can see all the details of the transaction there if you want to follow it. But why it matters? This matters. Cryptocurrency transfers from wallets to exchanges is typically a bearish signal. Most high net worth cryptocurrency traders hold their funds on a hardware wallet, as these devices offer better security than cryptocurrency exchanges. When whales transfer Bitcoin onto exchange, this typically means they are looking for liquidity. It's unlikely that the investor plans to hold their crypto on Coinbase, as the security risk of holding large amounts of crypto on an exchange are higher. So it just shows that there's some action going on there, so keep that in mind. That's a lot to transfer, and that literally just happened a few minutes ago. So looking here on TechCrunch. Okay, so the next story here is on TechCrunch. Coinbase's earnings fall short of expectations as crypto winter rages. Today after the bell, the largest cryptocurrency exchange, Coinbase, reported its second quarter performance. In the second quarter, Coinbase reported net revenues of $802.6 million and earnings per share of minus $4.98 diluted. That's predicated on a net income of minus $1.9 billion. Coinbase shares were off around 10.5% during regular trading hours in the wake of his earnings announcement, and Coinbase stock is off modestly, although it is traded somewhat chaotically in early hours after trading. Coinbase quarter included a large gain in cost compared to the year ago period, around $500 million, and a sharp revenue decline. In the second quarter, Coinbase's net revenue declined from $2.033 billion to $802.6 million, a drop of around 60%. The combined gain in expense and decline in top-line income put the company deeply in the red. So bear that in mind, people. There's some very interesting things happening there at Coinbase. And if you've got some money there, be wary of it. Don't keep all your money on the exchanges. Move it around a bit. It's looking a bit dodgy for some of these exchanges. We've also seen in the past news bites that I've done, some of these go under recently. So bear that in mind. Thin bold here, MicroStrategy has outperformed 97% of S&P 500 stocks since adopting Bitcoin strategy in 2020. The value of MicroStrategy stock has outperformed most asset classes since the company adopted its Bitcoin strategy in 2020. The returns have emerged despite the firm's revenues dwindling in 2022 due to the extended crypto market meltdown. In particular, the MSTR has recorded returns of 158.65% over 728 days, compared to the Russell 2000 index, which comprises the smallest 2,000 companies. MicroStrategy has registered returns of 25.17%, while the S&P 500 is trading at 27.40. Interestingly, the stock's returns compared to Bitcoin stand at 98.28%. Notably, MicroStrategy's performance was first highlighted by outgoing CEO Michael Saylor, who has been instrumental in the company's Bitcoin accumulation to its corporate treasury. However, following the crypto market correction, MicroStrategy has plunged into losses, with Bitcoin correcting by over 60% since its all-time high of almost 68,000 in November 2021. There's more on this one if that one interests you, but it just goes to show that you can do really well with investments in cryptos. Cointelegraph here. This follows a video I did recently where we explored the Metaverse and we explored Decentraland. If you haven't seen that, I recommend you guys have a look at that. I personally think it's a fantastic new developments that are coming our way. We just have to give it a little bit of time and we will get there. But let's have a look at this anyway. Cointelegraph here reports that the Metaverse housing bubble is bursting. Virtual land prices crash 85% amid waning interest. The virtual real estate market is crashing despite a McKinsey report predicting a $5 trillion market by 2030. The metaverse sector is witnessing its very own housing crisis moment. Thanks to massive declines in the prices of its virtual lands in 2022, led by waning users, interest, and a crypto bear market. In particular, metaverse projects built on the Ethereum blockchain, including Sandbox and Decentraland, have witnessed substantial declines in their valuations and other key metrics. For instance, the average price of land sold across Decentraland peaked at $37,000 in February 2022. But as of August 1st, their costs have dropped to an average of $5,000. Similarly, the Sandbox's average sale price dropped from the circa $35,000 in January to around about $2,800 in August. Overall, the average price per parcel of virtual lands across the 6 major Ethereum metaverse projects dropped from approximately $17,000 in January to around about $2,500 in August, and this equates to an 85% decline. Poor land sale volumes further indicate dampening user interest in metaverse projects. On a weekly average, the volume, which represents the amount of lands currently traded, has dropped from its peak of $1 billion in November 2021 to approximately $157 million in August 2022. Simultaneously, the market valuations of the metaverse tokens in circulation have dipped by more than 80%, led by further broader retreat across the cryptocurrency sector due to unfavorable macroeconomic conditions. So it looks like the metaverse system has been, dream I guess, has been hit right now, just as everything else has within cryptos. So keep that in mind. I still personally think that the metaverse is probably the next level where we're going with this, but it's way early yet. We need another decade for this to fully emerge. But we are getting there. Yeah, it's a slow progress. Next on the insider here, North Korea has laundered $1 billion in crypto via Tornado Cash, and the US Treasury just slammed the platform with sanctions. So the US Treasury sanctioned Tornado Cash with a cryptocurrency platform used by criminals for obscuring the origins of funds. As of Monday, all US entities or persons are barred from using Tornado Cash. And North Korea cybercriminals have laundered $1 billion in crypto through this platform. Goes on to say here, the US Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Asset Control on Monday sanctioned crypto platform Tornado Cash, which North Korean hackers have used for laundering. The sanctions prohibit any Americans or American entities from using Tornado Cash, and the government alleged that the platform had shortcomings that benefited cybercriminals, who have used Tornado Cash to launder $7 billion in crypto. According to a separate estimate from TRM Labs, North Korea alone has laundered approximately $1 billion in stolen funds through Tornado Cash. There's lots more detail on this if that would interest you, but wow, some big developments happening. Now, that's most of it for the text-based news. I got lots more on my magazine of crypto news bites that I collect. I'll put the link down below for that one for you. 5,000 articles, and I add more, every day, each day of the week. But let's move on to some great video news here. Now, the first one I'm going to show you here, I think, is this one. And this is from Proactive Thinker. The housing crash will be worse than 2008. Prepare now. It's an 11-minute video. I thought it was very impactful, very interesting, and easy to understand with all the charts and stats and stuff. I don't know if it's a bit more of an alarmist feel on this, but have a look at it anyway, because it's, all information's good for you to make informed decisions. The next one up here is, I think this one's from Jamie Tree. Yeah, Jamie Tree, again, a great subscriber, one that I watch all the time. A crypto tsunami is coming, and this is Cathie Wood's latest crypto update on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So have a look at that, see what she's got to say. She's a very prominent person in the field. Her opinion matters. Have a look at that, make an informed decision. The third one here, Altcoin Daily, another one I subscribe to. Fantastic channel, put out amazing videos, so add that to your list. Why tomorrow is huge for Bitcoin and Ethereum hodlers. So really watch that video. That's a great one. That's another 10-minute video there. So a short one, but full of information. And the final one today I've got here is from Bloomberg, and it's so it's an official source, and I don't like to go for the official sources like Bloomberg, CNBC, and all that kind of stuff. But it's got some really good pedestrian information in it. So this is Bloomberg Crypto Full Show. This is a 23-minute show here, and it covers all different types of things and people that's going on in the crypto space. So it's good general knowledge. So that's it for the Crypto News Bites this week. I hope you enjoy this. Leave any comments down below. Let me know if there's anything you want to see in particular. Thanks for all your help. Thanks for supporting us on this crypto viewing experiment. Have a great week ahead. Take care and be careful out there. Namaste.